Hello, it's Paul from Hurricane Forex. Got a lot of updates this weekend, so I'm going to take you through them. Markets are closed at the moment, so that means my charts are not updated properly. So I'm just going to take you through a few charts and show you some of the new features. We can now set all the colours of everything. We've also got a show alerts button here, so you can hit that button there and it'll bring up any alerts that you've got. We're also showing the total of risk that you've got in your trades right now in money and percentage of your balance, which is quite useful. And also we've got these new features which I can show you as well. Let's just look at this. Let's just check this is working. F9, yeah, that's working. Okay, so let's just take a look at some charts and I can show you what's going on. So now you've got suggested stop and take profit. So let's say this candle here is the signal. There's your take profit, and of course we put our take profit slightly inside it. And this one, it took a couple of days, but it got to the take profit. Okay, same for this one here. There's your stop entry on this candle. There's your target. Put it slightly inside. And in fact, what happened was with this one is that you actually had some revised targets. Now, the only thing I would have said with this is that the downside with this is that it is kind of still in a bearish market. So you've got to kind of be careful. In fact, it's showing as a flat market at the moment. And you might go, well, this isn't flat, but at the time that was taken, that was a flat market. So you've got to decide whether you're going to take that trade or not. That does look like a bit like a break out of the flat market. So again, this is kind of lagging a little bit. So you might see this kind of break and go, yeah, I'm taking it. It did actually hit the take profit pretty quickly. Now these take profits are calculated based on the fib levels and the distance to the target. Okay, so which is quite cool. But they are suggested take profits, so you might have another way of working out your take profits. Let's have a look at this one. Entry on this candle here, and that take profit is there. And if you look at, let's measure how much that is. Again, you've got to look at your stops as well. Look, if the entry's on this candle, and you've got a huge stop up there, this is gold, of course. It's not going to be worth taking that trade because your risk reward is too low. Okay, so moving swiftly on. So let's look at this chart. So we've got some. Let's start with the front end of it. This would be a flat market, which we don't take trades in. Okay, but it's overall bearish, so we're actually looking for sells. Here's a sell on this candle here. You can see you've got a bit of a breakout. We're looking for sells. We've had loads of buys. It's just been flat. Here's our sell entry. There's our take profit. Does it hit it? Yes. And here's another sell entry on this candle here. And I think you'll find the take profit is actually F9 down here. Now, oh look, it hasn't achieved it. Now what we need to do here is when the price hits the first or near the first fib level here, okay, we move our stop inside our entry. Okay, now it did in that case come back and trip you out. Then there's another sell there, and you do the same thing when it hits here or near it. You move your stop inside your entry and it would stop you out in profit, and then you'd realise that flat market congestion. So so then we've got another buy in here, which is a breakout from the flat market, and you can see the price starts moving together. You can see how the market's changing direction, and with Hurricane Forex you can actually tell that that's happening. And here's your first target on that candle there. There's your take profit. Bounces off that fib level. You start to get some more. Unfortunately, it got really flat, this market. You can see there it's gone really flat, and that's because it was just going to go bearish the next time. I'm just going to make it refresh. H1. This is actually oil, so you can see it went bearish. There's the change of direction marker. You can see those little gold things there. They're change of direction markers, and sometimes you'll also get this to say we're changing trend direction. And then you've got this sell, and it's gone into a sell. Not a great fan of gold myself. Oil and gold, I like to be aware of them because they're useful when you're looking at other other things, so to speak, other currencies and stuff like that. Okay, so sorry about this. Oh, there's a sell. That's an alert. That's the alert you'll get. I trade on the hourly charts, but I'm aware with this of what's going on. So let's look at New Zealand Swiss. So let's start looking at some trades. Here was some news. You can probably see it rallied up. Look at this. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Let's say you enter that trade there. There's your take profit. It just basically goes up to your take profit, hits this 200 period Heikin-Ashi moving average, which is something I kind of invented, and then it bounces off of it as if it was almost, you cannot come past. Remember, we always put our stop in you put your take profit inside. Don't put it at that level, just down inside it. It just bounced straight back down again and went into a sell trend again. It was actually in a sell trend before the news. Rallies up, hits the news, and then we've got our sell entries, and you can see I've got an entry there, stop kind of here. It would have stopped you out, you'd have lost that trade. However, if you deemed that it got here, in fact the sell entry would be on here, so if you deemed it got close to there, you might move your stop inside the entry and win the trade. Then we've got another sell entry here, and there's it stop, so you'll enter it somewhere here, goes down, bounces off the first fib level. Okay, remember our target is still here, so our target's about here from this first trade which we lost. Here's the second one, bounces off that fib level, bounces back up, might have stopped you out there, which is, you know, it's more than frustrating, but unfortunately that's what happens. So you might think, well, actually I'm just going to aim for that fib level rather than aim for that target. However, the third time it tried it, and you see how it keeps bouncing off this the 100 period Heikin-Ashi moving average. The third time it tried it, it actually came down here, it got stuck again there. However, it did actually achieve that take profit in the end, didn't it? But we want to manage our risk reward properly. Okay, so you might actually have gone, okay, that's the suggested stop here, but I'm going to stick my stop higher up there, and you may have well sat in it for 3 days. Some of my trades do last a few days. Here's one here, so we've got our entry here. The only thing that bothers me about it is it's a long way from the 100 period moving average. It's not really bouncing off of anything, so it may be a fake out. And in fact, what happened on that Wednesday was, you see it just hangs near that first fib level. So if you did take the trade, you are really near that bounce area. So it's a bit of a risk, but you might have stopped that one out. And then we've got a long trade, which we ain't taking. Why? Because we're in a bearish trend, and if it says market week bearish there, but what it's signaling is the market is flat. In fact, at that point, you see how that this line is actually straight, and then we get this lovely sell signal here, which we're in on the Friday. I wouldn't be trading that because I hardly trade on Fridays, really. Target is here. Are we likely to achieve that distance? Probably. Okay, probably, but it's not a trade I would take because it's Fridays and I hate Fridays. Control tab, by the way, moves you to a different thing. Again, we had a lot of this. Look how it bounces off fib levels. There are things that stop the markets moving. Okay, firstly, this 100 period moving Heikin-Ashi moving average is actually quite reliable as a place of entry. So if it's close to it, I'm not going to take that buy because of this. All right, it just bounced off there. So the suggested take profit is here for that trade, and that it achieved it. Got a suggested take profit of here. It achieves it. I didn't mean to draw it like that. So you actually put your stops slightly, you take profit slightly inside. Suggested take profit of here. Okay, we've got the same kind of story we have in New Zealand Swiss, and this is actually New Zealand dollars, so it's the same kind of thing. It pulled back, it pulls back up to here, bounces off this white stop line, the white 100 period moving Heikin-Ashi moving average, and then does actually achieve that fib level. Okay, but it was a bit of a pullback idea, so you'd probably, when it hit there, move your stop inside entry, or you know, you see it bounce, you see how it's halfway between the two fib levels. I could have more fib levels, actually more levels in the halfway, but if it bounces off that halfway mark, I want my stop inside my entry. However, with the stop there, you're going to be okay if it bounces back, so you might just want to hold it. And you know, I'm of the opinion now, I used to be one of these fiddlers. There are a lot of traders out there like to fiddle with their trades, okay, but now I like to put my trade on, I'll look at it, and I'll leave it, till it stops out or takes profit, and that's really what I want to do. Or I hit a Friday, because I don't like Fridays, so I hit a Friday, and then I just go, you know, is it safe to stay in the trades? It was the same picture, you know. The other thing you'll get with Hurricane Forex is you can sometimes get a lot of signals with the same currency, like selling GBP, for instance, was recently happening. When that happens, just find the best one and take the trade. You know, one of those, so you maybe want to use one of those little chart things where you can find out what's the strongest and weakest currency, and take that. If sterling is getting weaker, like it's just suddenly started moving down, look for the strongest currency to trade it against and just trade that. So you will find that you do get you know, a series of trades. Market flat, if that says market flat, unless you see a strong breakout from that market, from those levels, stay in it. You can see we're quite bullish. It's not going anywhere. Hourly chart. Look how you see the daily. These gold lines are like daily's moving down. The daily is moving down. This is moving upwards, but it just bounces off this fib level all the time. It just bounces off this line. The 38.2 is just trapped it. It's in this hashed area, okay? You can't do anything with that. You can't trade that until you see a break above or below. In fact, it looks like a pennant, doesn't it? It looks like a bullish pennant that's been going on for a week. So there's a big run into it, and then it's just hanging there. It means it's waiting for something, so I'd stay out of that. Here again, I'm just flipping charts because then it'll bring it in. So we had a sell on this one Friday. It's got a nice bearish target of here where it's not made it. This kind of lovely. There was quite a nice bearish trend going on here actually, and this is New Zealand CAD again, same sort of picture. But it nearly never. It just went into a big bull. There's a big bull flag there, or bear flag. You see how it ran up. It tried to get out of this area here. It broke right through our no man's land. In fact, it was pushing it up, and then all of a sudden it just went down. That's why I don't like trading Fridays, because things tend to get messed up on Fridays, especially when it's the end of the month and the end of the quarter, which is what we had on Friday. So now we're looking to establish new trends. Now here's another interesting chart. You've got some buys going on here, bit of a flat market there, but there's a buy here. Now look at my stop. My stop's actually going to be back here somewhere. Okay, you don't have to put it where it says, you just use it. There's my take profit. It took it. I can't draw straight lines at all. I like using MetaTrader 4, but it's difficult to delete the straight lines afterwards. Right, so there's my entry, okay, and it pulls back, and it has another entry, and it pulls back, and you're stuck in this very painful trade. However, it's not coming near your stop. Your stop's there, all right? Probably wouldn't be adding trades to it because it's not moving upwards. Just hold it. And so did it stop me out? Went over the weekend, took profit just here, okay, 4 days later. So just look at the charts. So again, we've got another entry here. So on a Monday, you might have taken this one on a Monday, and the target is here, and you took it on that candle there. Did we achieve take profit? Yes. Are we going to take these sell trades? No, because we're in an uptrend. All right. Even though actually over here, a few days later, it did actually achieve it. So let's look at some of these trades. You'll notice how price is moving that way, down, but we don't start seeing the effect of that until here, when you see this line goes blue. So that shows we're starting to move into a bearish trend. And look how, you know, we've got some entries there. It looks like it's going bearish. And then on Friday, what did they do? Friday, they just turned it around and went the other way. I don't like Fridays. I hate them, and I just don't want to trade on Fridays. I really don't. If things are going to turn the other way, they tend to do it on Fridays. Especially we've got non-farm payrolls this week, which means the dollar trades are going to be quite quiet. Fundamental news is very important to you as a trader. Very, very important, and I'll tell you why that is. The reason fundamental news is important to you is because it does actually affect the market. Some things like speeches tend to kind of not affect the market long term. They tend to do this sort of thing. Okay, it was in a bearish trend anyway at this point. So there's a big bearish move there. There's your entry. There's your take profit. It easily got it. Okay, and that took a couple of days. There's a sell here. There's your take profit. There's your take profit. It got it in a few days. Sell here. Just turned around and went the other way. So that stopped you out. So if you took all of these trades, okay, now you might be tempted to take this one as well, which you probably could. Once it enters this, if you enter a buy and it breaks through here and breaks through a fib level, guys, you know, that's a good place to take a long. So you could happily take this long with your stop, but your stop's going to have to be back here. So it's a bit of a, and there's your take profit up there. It's miles away. Okay, so but you notice also things are moving together, even though it's still bearish, and then bam, we're in an uptrend. Okay, so this, you can see using this software. I know it's a lot of lines, and people like, I know people don't like, okay, having a lot of lines on their charts, but with this tool you can see what your trend is the trend changing, okay, which is the biggest killer of a lot of trading systems, is you get stuck in trends. So here we've got a take profit there, it never makes it, which is basically we hit Friday, and of course I close my trades on Friday, so I'm not too bothered. But again, it's saying it's a flat market because here it did get very flat. So I've got a nice buy here, going across no man's land. It just pulls back into no man's land, which is a sure sign it's thinking about coming the other way. It's in fact head and shoulders. There's a shoulder, there's a shoulder, there's a head, there's a shoulder. So you need to apply your trading knowledge on charts to it as well. That's what you need to do. So just click over there. There's another alert. That's the sort of alerts you get. Of course, if you've got email set up, you can get it sent to your email. So look at these. Okay, so we had a big. This is GBP Aussie. I've been very bearish on sterling. Okay, and of course, if you listen to the news, you think it was still really bearish. But so here's an entry. There's your stop. There's your take profit, just a little bit below there. Okay, and it does actually hit it on that news there. Okay, but that's 3 days of you sitting in this very slow, backwards and forwards, up and down trade. Although your entry's actually on, if your entry's on this candle, oh no, it does. It kind of gets to you there, on that. So you might want to get out of that, but or you might sit in it. You're not stopped out. Just leave it. And so 2-3 days later, bam, it takes out that top. But then we've got another buy, and by now we can see how the market has, in fact, although it went flat, we're now in a strong bullish market on sterling, which is surprising really, considering what the government have done. So, and nobody's saying it because the newspapers and the media haven't got up yet. So we can see how the way the markets cross, you can see this happening, all right, tells you the market's changed direction. Going to the buy on this candle, there's your stop, there's your take profit, bam, straight into it. Okay, then it actually just carries on, and then you've got to pull back, and then there's your entry, there's your take profit, and it actually achieves it. I noticed that's quite cautious. You don't know how long things are going to go, neither do I. Okay, again, here's my entry. In fact, this one's still in play, although I wouldn't take that either of those because it's a Friday. Alright, just not interested in taking those on a Friday. Just the thing about these take profit entries is that they are based on the number of pips. So with GBP, that's quite a long way. It doesn't look like it, but in fact, if the target, let's say you enter in there is actually 100 pips there, and that's one of the things. So basically, it has quite a small target, but I wouldn't be keen to take that because GBP also is a different ball game to other currencies because it does tend to move a bit further. It can be a bit weak sometimes. So there's a buy there. And it's just telling me, and this is quite a flat market as well. You can see that white line is flat, and the market, it says here the market's flat. It's gone flat again there. So it's just a flat market. So stay out of it, Or in fact, I don't know whether it is flat. Let's just refresh that chart. It's actually, weak bullish market now. So Monday, I might think about going long on GBP. I didn't know I was going to say that, but I want to see how the what happens after the weekend. Again, this is a nice bearish trend, alright, so you've got some entries here, got an entry on that one, the target's there, it does achieve it after a few days. Euro dollar, I'm not a great fan of euro dollar's got to be said, but look, there you go, same thing again, there's your entry, there's your stop. See how simple it is? Take the stop, just sit in it. Till it takes profit, you can need to watch your risk obviously. Don't start putting huge trades on with massive lot sizes because you will stop out occasionally. So here's an entry here, there's your stop there. Now you notice how this is a flat market. What's different about that entry is it is a breakout. I mean, it does a false one there. However, there's an entry on this candle here, you can see that there, and it does actually get up to the take profit. But the problem with that is that then that's news. Guarantee you that's news. It just pulls back, and then we start getting buy signals on it. But it's a flat market, so I'm staying out until I see a proper breakout. So this candle comes along, and I'm looking at it going, wait a minute, that's a proper breakout. So then I set my target to here, and if it misses it that first time, I just leave it in until it either stops me out, which it won't because I'm down here, or it takes profit, which it does there. See, it's the same sort of thing. The worst thing with trading psychology is when you get you get a stop, it's heading towards your stop, and you just sit there and let it do it. But when it's going up to profit, you don't sit there and let it do it. You get all worried and think, oh, there's 100 reasons why I should take this off right now. When actually you need to be going, I need to leave this in as long as possible, let those winners run. Remember, if you've got a 1 to 4 risk reward, that means that you, on average, you could end up with if you win 3 trades, then you could lose like 8 trades and still be in profit. So again, I mean, this is lovely. Look at this lovely uptrend here. So there's a buy entry here. There's your first target. F9. So okay, there's a buy. We're in congestion here, so we're interested in taking longs only. Okay, so there's a buy entry on that candle. Target here. Even if you got it wrong and took this trade, it would be fine. You just let it run till take profit. Again, target here, entry on that candle. Target is here, straight up to your take profit. Euro New Zealand, this is buy here, entry on that candle, straight up to take profit the next day. Buy here, but look at the take profit. You see how the fib levels have really gone, and it does actually achieve it, even though the fib level appears to be hundreds of miles away. We'll have a new set of, it does weekly fib levels, so basically yeah, you can see how that was our last signal on Friday. We had 2, in fact, there and there. Look how smooth that is. Big uptrend. Look at the targets, look at the maths of the take profits. These aren't the standard fib levels you get on MetaTrader. There's ones that I've kind of invented. This is a flat market even, so we've got to sell there, gets to take profit, sell there, gets to take profit 2 days later. You wouldn't lose that trade, you wouldn't lose that trade. Sell there, and your take profit is there. It's very keen on this fib level. You see, this is the other thing about this new target setting. You know that this is a critical level for it. If it breaks through this fib level, we're going to go way down. Okay, I think that's enough. HurricaneForex.com is the website, and there's lots and lots of features of this software. I hope people enjoy using it. I know that traders who are using it, who get used to it and understand it, even though I know it's a lot of lines on the chart, will really benefit from having it as a way of seeing what's going on in the markets. Thanks very much. I'm Paul. Bye bye.